Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk all things finance and investing. Today's video, I'm going to do the follow-up, the part 2 of my option series. Last time I did call options, this week it's put options, and the timing is great because we've had a recent example of a real life scenario where someone has used put options big time to go short against the AI trade. So if you haven't seen my previous video on an intro to options and call options, I'll put a link in the description to that one so you can have a look at that one first, come back to this one and learn all about put options with a real life example at the moment. All right, so that being said, let's get into it. Put options. All right, so unlike a call option where you have the right to buy a particular asset class at a date in the future at a specific price, a put option is really the opposite. It gives the holder the right to sell a particular asset, let's say a stock in this case, at a particular price known as the strike price at a particular date in the future known as the expiration date. You can exercise that right ahead of time, particularly if it's what's called an American style option. You can exercise that right to sell your stock, for example, at that particular strike price before the expiration date if you want to, but you don't have to. You can let it run through to expiry, and then you could sell if it's in the money. Then you can sell that stock at that strike price at the time of expiry. So it's really just the opposite of a call option that we learned about in part 1 of the options series we're doing. And like a call option, when you take out a put option with the right to sell something in the future, you need to pay a premium for that as well, which is really the price of the option. And depending on how many contracts, and one contract is equal to 100 shares, for example, in the US, but depending on how many contracts, that will determine the premium that you need to pay for this option or this right to sell your asset in the future. And you put up the premium when you purchase the put option, and that is your maximum possible loss. You cannot lose more than the premium that you do on an option trade when you're buying an option. So it is a limited risk trade. You can't lose more than that. And whereas with a call option, your break-even point, the point at where you start to make money, the call option is your strike plus your premium. When it comes to a put option, it's the opposite. It's the strike price minus the premium that you've paid to get your break-even point. And if the stock goes down below that point, strike minus premium, from there on you will start to make money. The same terms that we used around moneyiness as a call option exist the same for a put option. In the money, when there's intrinsic value in the option. Out of the money, when the option is worthless. So a scenario like this with a put option could be if you're holding an option with the right to sell a stock, say at $100 or £100, but the market is currently trading at 120, 130, 140, for example, then why would anybody exercise that option to sell at 100 when you could sell in the market at a better price, being a higher price? So if that's the case, the option would be out of the money. And of course, at the money is exactly when the strike price matches the price in the underlying market. So if you have the right to sell a stock at $100 or £100 and the market is trading at $100 or £100, then that would be an at the money option as well. Same as we learned with call options. Okay, so when are put options used? Well, they're really used in 2 cases. One is a hedge and 2 is a speculation trade. Okay, so a hedge is really when you're just trying to hedge your bets. So simple example of this could be, imagine you're long a lot of stocks in your portfolio and you've done quite well over the last few years. Let's say you had an overweight in US tech, for example, and for a variety of reasons you were unable to sell those. Maybe you didn't want to pay the capital gains tax, or you're locked into a certain amount of period for whatever reason and you don't want to sell that. But you believe, like a lot of people at the moment, the consensus view seems to be that the AI bubble is going to burst and you fear a lot of your stocks are going to come down. And if you can't sell them, a thing that you could do here is hedge your bets by buying a put option either on the stocks that you hold on a portfolio, or you might choose, for example, the NASDAQ, or you might choose an ETF that tracks, AI, for example, and you would buy a put option giving you the right to sell maybe at the current price or at a lower price, and out of the money option because they're cheaper. And you would do that because you believe that you can profit from this trade to offset the losses that you would have in your physical or your long only stocks, the stocks being that you hold in your portfolio. So you'd be hedging it. Think of this like almost like insurance. You probably have insurance maybe on your house, your flat, whatever, and you pay every month a premium to your insurance provider in the event that maybe your contents are stolen or there's a fire or something like that. If the event happens, then you'll get paid out. If it doesn't happen, then you would lose your premium. It's the same thing when it comes to buying put options in the stock market. You pay your premium, and if the event happens, the stock trades below a certain amount, your strike price, then you would start to make money. But if it doesn't, you lose your premium. The other use of put options is to speculate. In other words, to try and make money on some market moves. And this could be an example where, let's say you feel the stock market, say, is overvalued, or you find a particular stock that you think is overvalued and you believe that stock is going to come crashing down. So you might decide then to take a put option with the right to sell the stock at the current price, going out, say, 2 years from now, because you don't know when the timing's going to be that the market could sell off. So simple example, stock is trading at 100. You think that stock is only worth about $30, $40 or pounds. So you buy an option giving you the right to sell at 100 going out for the next 2 years. And if at any time over the next 2 years, that stock price comes down to where you thought it should be, 20, 30 dollars or pounds or whatever, then you're going to make the difference because you have the right to sell it at 100. If the market's trading at 20, well, at the time of expiry in 2 years, there would be $80 or 80 pounds of value in that option right there. And that is how you would make money on a put option like that. There's a big advantage to doing it like this as a put option as opposed to selling short. And selling short is where you borrow the stock from your broker, you sell it in the market at today's price, say at 100, but with a view of buying it back at 20 or 30 in the future and giving it back to your broker where you would make the difference. The downside to going short like this is if you're wrong for the next couple of weeks, months, or whatever, you may face a margin call where your broker asks you to put up more money, otherwise they're going to close your trade down, known as being stopped out. And that can happen for sure. So buying a put option removes that risk of being stopped out on your trade. All right, so at the moment we have a very public scenario that we can talk about. Michael Burry, who you may have heard of if you've ever seen the movie The Big Short. He was played by Christian Bale because he profited so much from the global financial crisis on betting that, the mortgages, collateralized debt obligations, all of these crazy synthetic products that were very popular for investment banks at the time. He bet it was all going to come crashing down, and he did profit from that using things like credit default swaps and whatnot. In the last week, news has broken that Michael Burry has taken out massive put options on Nvidia and Palantir. So he's basically got a very bearish strategy here. This is probably more of a speculative trade than hedging long bets that he holds in his portfolio. And he's betting that those stock prices are going to come down big time, and he's going to profit from that by having bought put options on them. I believe he's gone with put options rather than going short because he knows if he's wrong for the next 6 months, he could get stopped out or have to post more collateral. So I think it's a smart move by using put options like he's done. He's got so much conviction in this. His Palantir put option is actually worth over $900 million and his Nvidia around 186. Now he's done this in his fund, Scion Asset Management, but this is a trade that he looks to have loads of conviction on, and he believes Palantir is way overvalued and it's going to come crashing down, and he hopes to profit from his put option with his right to buy. We don't know where his strike price is, where he's got the right to sell it at this particular price, and we don't know the expiration date that he has on the option. So it's difficult to say where these trades are for him right now, but I would suspect he's got at least 6 months in time horizon here on these options, potentially a year or even 2. But nevertheless, this is a sign that he believes the AI trade is massively overvalued and is about to go down big time. All right, so in summary, a put option gives you the right to sell a particular asset class or instrument like a stock at a specific price by a specific date in the future, known as the expiration date. And the price that you can sell it is known as the strike price. It's a tool that's used to speculate on a falling price of a stock, for example, and it's a bearish trade. But it can be also used to hedge a long exposure or hedge your portfolio. Almost like insurance is. Pay a premium and you'll make money if the event happens. So you can use it as a way to protect your stock portfolio as well. When you go long of an option or you buy an option, you pay the premium only, and there's no risk of being stopped out on the trade, which is one of the best reasons to do it. You have no margin calls or anything like that as you do with short selling. But of course, use caution when it comes to using options. This is not financial advice or anything like that. I'm not a financial advisor, just educating you on some of the things that I've seen in the markets over my 20 years or so. I actually know somebody who used put options to their advantage in 2022. You may recall at that time, a lot of tech stocks were releasing their earnings and their stock prices were getting hit pretty hard. Well, this individual worked in the tech industry and he believed that that's what was going to happen. So what he would do, and this is very speculative, but he would log in on a Monday, he would look at who was releasing earnings that week in the tech industry, and he would pick 3, 4, 5 of those companies and he would buy at the money put options and for an expiry on Friday. And this was his way of profiting from the bad news that would come out when they would release the earnings. And of course, that's exactly what happened. They would release the earnings, the stock would go down 7, 8, 9, 10%, for example, and he was making money off of that each time. He used put options to do that. So that is a strategy that some people will use and something you could think about. But of course, understand all the risks and everything first, and I would not get into selling options because they can be an unlimited risk trade. Buying put options is much safer because you're limited risk to the premium. Well, that's my video on put options. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think of put options or options trading in general. The Michael Burry put options on Nvidia and Palantir were unbelievable. Huge sizes, very interesting stuff, a lot of media attention as well. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. I would really appreciate that. It helps get the video out to more people. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I would really appreciate that as well. It helps the channel grow and encourages me to make more videos like that. And as always, I wish you nothing but the best in your savings and investment journey.